Being part of a Division I college athletics program is something a lot of kids dream about achieving. Many people think that the hard part is just getting to college or getting that scholarship. Because not only do you have to be in the top 98% of the players in your area, let alone the country, but you also have to be able to deal with all the mental challenges you face on and off the field. But what most people don't tell you is that the real work starts once you actually get there. Speaking of mental health and mental challenges, one of the biggest obstacles we face on and off the field as athletes, one of the best resources that has helped me develop a winner's mentality has to be How to Be a Winner by Bryce Wilson. In this book, Bryce Wilson covers in depth the 10 mental abilities that are present in some of the greatest athletes and coaches of all time, and how you can develop them to become the best version of yourself. And for those of you who are more hands-on learners and don't really enjoy reading books, Bryce also has a 10-week training program where he will tell you step by step how to develop this elite level mindset. Oh, and I almost forgot. I was able to get you guys a 50% discount code. So if you guys want to, use code Hector50 at checkout. And yeah, don't forget to check out my guy Bryce. Everything's linked down below. And let's get back to the video. My name is Hector Serrano. I'm a Division I soccer player, and I've been playing the sport I love for as long as I can remember. And I'm super fortunate to be in the position I am today. Because as we all know, only a small percentage of high school athletes make it to the college level, let alone Division I. To be exact, only 2% of high school student athletes are able to make this jump to the Division I level. And only 1% of high school athletes will receive some sort of athletic scholarship. So if you have ever dreamt of going to college on a full or partial scholarship, beating 9% of athletes in your sport around the country is only enough to get you into NCAA Division I school, much less receive any financial aid. So after all this time spent working hard towards being recruited to a Division I school, many athletes end up not being able to enter into college athletics and pursue their goals due to financial constraints. And now that brings me to present day as a Division I athlete. If you couldn't really tell by all the day in the life videos I post on my YouTube channel, life as a collegiate athlete is pretty different from that of a regular student. Now, I guarantee you guys have heard the debate whether student athletes or regular students have it harder. A lot of people tend to disagree and say that student athletes have it easier, that we get everything handed to us, and vice versa. But I think it's safe to say that we have a busier schedule than that of a regular student. So let me show you guys what the schedule of a Division I soccer player may look like during the fall season. So on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we might train from 6 to 9 a.m., then from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. classes, then 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. we would have weights, and then from 5 to 6 p.m. study hall. Then Tuesdays and Thursdays are a little bit different, and it's kind of flip-flopped. So we would have classes from 7 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Then we have training from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. And then we have study hall again from 4 to 5 p.m. or whenever you want to do it in the afternoon. And then of course, aside from all of that, we also have many games or trips during the fall semester that may overlap with our classes. So this means we always have to be on top of our schoolwork and do our best to stay on top of our classes so that if we do miss class, it won't affect our grades or our education in general. Just to put into perspective how hard it could be to stay caught up with your classes, there was an NCAA study done that found that athletes miss an average of 2 classes a week. Many times what this means for us is asking classmates for extra notes or staying with teachers and reviewing questions that we may have about assignments that were assigned. As you can see, this demand to not only be performing at our best on the field, but also in the classroom can start to add up. And it gives athletes less time to pursue other things and other hobbies that they have outside of school and sports. This leads to a lot of people burning out and eventually quitting their sport. And to be honest, that's the reality of pursuing anything at the highest level. There are times when you might deal with low self-esteem and low confidence, or maybe your mental health is struggling and you're in a dark place because of an injury that sets you back in your athletic career. And over this first year as a collegiate level athlete, I've realized collegiate athletics might not be for everyone. Because like everything in life, there's always going to be pros and cons. And some people aren't willing to wake up early, they're not willing to take care of their bodies, or maybe they just don't like pushing themselves out of their comfort zone. And that's fine. But on the other hand, there's some people that love that. They just love getting after it every day, hustling, just getting better, and just feeling themselves improve throughout the process. And to be honest, I think I might be one of those. For now, I've been loving every single bit of being a Division I athlete. I'm loving the having to wake up early in the mornings, just getting after it with my teammates. And I love everyone around me. And I just love representing my school in general. And I know all my teammates do as well, which is why it feels so nice to be surrounded by like-minded individuals. But I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that I wake up every day with a smile on my face, ready to attack the day, because that would just be a lie. Whether it be in sports or a personal life, or even at work, there's always gonna be days where you don't feel like waking up. There's gonna be some days where you wanna quit, or some days you just won't have much motivation. But those are the days that make you better and stronger. They make you realize truly how much you love what you do. Because at the end of the day, we all know there's gonna be some days that are better than others and some days that are worse than others. Which is why you can't just rely on motivation to succeed in sports or in life. Because as we all know, it's easy to do things when you're motivated and everything's going your way. Everything's going right, everything's going great, and there's no problems. It feels like you're unstoppable. But But what happens then when things start to go wrong? When you start to lose motivation? Do you just quit? Do you stop? And that's why you need to be committed, because motivation can only take you so far and will only last so long. There's gonna be days where you don't feel like getting up. Like I was saying, there's gonna be days where everything's going wrong, everything's going hard, and you're just not gonna be motivated. So when you lose that motivation, you need to be committed to always showing up and committed to the grind. Because like one of my coaches said, the day you don't show up, someone else will. So now you've made it to your college graduation, 4 years have gone by, you got your diploma, you played great in sports, and you're gonna go pro, right? Well, the harsh reality is that only 1% of college soccer players make it to the professional level after college. And of that 1% that make it to professional level, many don't last more than a year. Whether it be because they become complacent, or they realize that this isn't what they really want to do, or maybe the level is just too high for them and they can't fit in. And even if you are fortunate or lucky enough to go pro out of college, unless you're playing in the top divisions, you might have to have a second job to be able to maintain an adequate life and still have some money to save for your future. So as you can see, going pro isn't as easy or as glorifying as people think. It's pretty hard to make millions in this sport, and let alone have enough money to retire after playing football. So that leads me to the next question you may be thinking. What happens to the other 99% of athletes that don't make it to professional levels? Well, the truth is that many people find it really hard to settle into a normal life away from their sport, leading them to suffer from a major identity crisis. Because if after all these years of being known as an athlete, always winning, always achieving great things, and just being known as the overall stud, life hits you and you have to get a real job, you have to work long hours, and your sport isn't there for you anymore. Imagine, after all of these years of playing the sport you love and having everything in their life revolve around their sport, they no longer have that with them. Which is why I think it's so important throughout our time in college, it's so important to experiment with different majors, learning different things, doing new hobbies, meeting new people, and just stepping outside of your comfort zone in general, whether that be through sports or academically. Because at the end of the day, whether we go pro or not, there's gonna come a time when we have to stop playing the game we love. Which is why it's so important to experiment now and have something we can fall back on later on. So that when we do need to make that transition from the sports world to the real world, we'll be more prepared and be able to make that transition smoother and easier for us. Because we all know, we all dread that day when we're finally gonna have to say goodbye to our sports. So that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you guys have any questions or comments for future videos, don't be afraid to let me know down below. And lastly, don't forget to check out Bryce Wilson's book on how to be a winner and all his courses linked down below. And hopefully he can help you throughout your journey as much as he's helped me. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace, guys.